And now Alicia Robertson to induct John C. Hunter.
Hi, everybody. Actually, it's Alicia, and it's Jack. So, that's a normal thing for us. Everywhere we go, people say, "Oh, you must be Jack Hunter's daughter." And I say, "Well, it depends on how do you feel about Jack? What do you think about him?" There is not a person that doesn't know Jack in our part of the world, or even most parts of the world. I think he saw 10 people that he knew on his way here, and he always makes a point to stop and talk to them. How are you? What have you been up to? He remembers their kids, their grandkids, what they're doing. Most importantly, he remembers the cattle they bought on a specific day, on a specific year, on a specific month. I think he'll talk about it in a little bit. Rich, my husband, and I had a great opportunity to buy the barn from my folks about 5 years ago. And last fall, we had some customers come up and they said, "Oh my gosh, I did not know that you guys bought the barn." And I said, "Isn't that the idea? That you come to town to get your once-a-year paycheck. You come here every year. You don't want it to be different. You want it to be the same." And so that is something that we're really proud about, that we can continue it, because as we talked about tonight, it is about getting your family involved, because who else is crazy enough to do this business? And who else takes a better butt chewing than your kids or your grandkids, because nobody else is going to show up the next day. But we all do. So a special thanks to my family that's here, because our kids work at the barn, our nephew, our nieces, our customers that aren't just customers, but they truly become our friends, that are years and years of friends, our employees that don't have to work there, really none of them do, but yet the sickos show up every Friday because it's like their therapy, right, Pat? It's like their therapy, and it's the camaraderie of what we do in what we do every week. I had a customer at a bull sale, and they said, "Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I can't believe I just can't do this." I said, "Try doing it every week and spending other people's livelihood." My brother said tonight, he said, "We don't need to go to the casino. We gamble every week." And that is what we do. But we do it the best that we can, and we try the hardest. And that is why Jack Hunter is the best, because there's nobody with more love. So, without getting choked up, because, I followed these people that don't choke up, these guys that aren't crying in front of the mic, but no one can get there alone. He has a great team. We have a great team, but he has a real sparkling personality, and that is what has gotten him here. And the fact that he will tell you that your cattle are good, if they're good, and he will tell you that they are bad, if they are bad, and he will say it with a smile on his face, and they will believe him, because it's honest. He's honest. He doesn't tell lies. He always tells the truth, and he does really give the best true price discovery that a person could get at our barn. So I would like to welcome Jack Hunter to come up and get his award.
Whoa! I'm humbled and honored. Thank you very much to the Winter family for this great celebration of all these great people that are here tonight, and all their sponsors, because it takes a whole bunch of people to put something like this on. Just super. Where's Crawford, Nebraska? A kid said when I got on the elevator today. He says, "Is it in Texas?" Well, apparently, Jim Sanamaso, they don't know where Crawford, Nebraska is, because Corporate Walls has our deal on his report a lot because we sell the best damn cattle in the world. We're fortunate. We're fortunate to have the best producers in a lot of states around. People that pride themselves in raising the best, and we pride ourselves in having one of the nicest, cleanest, best facilities of feed, water, facilities. We handle their cattle like they want to be handled at home. And that's why we've had repeat customers for 43 years. And that's a tribute to all our people that are out there and the people that work for us. I've got a good crew. We've been broke so much that we just use family to run our deal. Kind of like the Winter family. Our oldest daughter, Chris, is here. She started running the office in Gordon, Nebraska at our livestock market that we had there. She has 2 daughters. Her oldest daughter, Robin, is our horse sale manager, and she does all our pinback at the sale barn. Excuse me. I learned this from Pat Goggins. It's not a sale barn, it's a livestock market, and don't forget that. But anyway, Robin is our horse sale manager, and we have 2 Legend Buttes horse sales every year, and they are awesome. She has another beautiful daughter that's a surgical nurse in Rochester, Minnesota, just got married this summer, and we're sure she's doing very well. Our son is here. He runs the ranch at Ardmore, South Dakota, cow-calf operation. Going to be selling a couple loads of cattle here in a couple weeks on Western Video, and they're the best damn bunch of steers you ever saw in your life. They're NHTC. You won't find them any better. And his wonderful wife, Tricia. She's at home with their youngest son, Jack. They're checking water and baling hay tonight, I hope. His son, Tristan, is here, and he's going to be a world champion auctioneer, Russell Sleep. He's going to be a good one. He works for us. He's out videoing cattle, and he sorts. And he runs the Bobcat, and he cleans, and he does everything that can be done at the market. His sister Ashley is here, and she's the go-to girl of everything around the barn. Like I said, Jackie's home bailing. Our youngest daughter, Alicia, you just heard from her. She's a chip off the old block. And her husband, Rich, are doing a wonderful job, but we couldn't do any of this without Laura. She cleans the toilet, she washes the clothes, she took care of the kids, she was our bookkeeper for 43 years at the barn, plus the ranch. She was the ones that order buyers hated to hear because she's the one that called and said, your check hasn't showed up yet. And we love you. Yep, and also Alicia's kids, Hunter and Allison, are here. And Allison will be a senior in high school. Hunter will be a sophomore. And they're all part of the family-run business. We got other people here tonight. Pat Hollenbeck has been with me since 1985. He comes to the sale on Fridays for therapy, to get away from the work that he does at his place. Todd Rager has done, he worked for me in Gordon. He'd take me through the sand hills. I'd never been in the sand hills before. We bought Gordon and we went down there, and he's taken me on back mail route roads that I thought, where in the hell are we going? There's nobody who lives down that road, but sure enough, we'd find somebody and we'd consign their calves and they'd bring them to town. Thanks, Todd and Pat, for all you've done. Got a lot of other friends here, family, Jeff and Linda Erickson, that'd be Laura's brother. He's a financier, and he's helped us do a lot of business things throughout the years, and appreciate him. And his family, Scott and Kelly, are here from Sioux Falls. Ryan and Jamie, good to see you guys. Good friend Scott Courts. I never had a beer before I went to college. Scott Courts was my roommate, and that's when I had my first beer. We might have done a couple other things through the years. We went to the library twice. We drove by one day, and Scott said, "You ever been to the library?" I said, "No, I haven't." So we just drove up the steps, and we got up, looked around. Yeah. And his wife Margaret's here, and my good friends Barry Rogers, who we went to school at Provo Rattlers. There isn't even a town there anymore, but I'm glad you're here, and your friend with Bob Davis that grew up at Igloo also. Anyway, what's really cool about tonight is one of my best friends. Now I'm going to choke up. I retired Beef Palmer's barn number at our barn. It was number 5. After he passed away, I was one of the first markets to do it. This man was something else. He'd come to 3 of our sales a week. He bought cows. He bought bucket calves. He bought the best cattle that was in the ring. He knew the value of everything, and he was the first guy there. And he would be the last guy. It might be 1 o'clock in the morning, and he'd be settling up. And and he never wrote anything down. But he knew that there would be. He'd go through his list. It might be 10 o'clock at night, and he'd go through there. He said, "I didn't get that black cow. JBS got that black cow. Wouldn't bring beef." He said 32 cents, weighed 10.85. I didn't get that cow. There might be something that I would buy a cow or get run by somebody, or Ross would run by somebody, and we'd run it the next week, and Beef would look over his glasses sitting up there in that seat, and he'd go, "Have I seen that cow somewhere before?" He always knew. He always knew. He was one of the guys in 1994. I had put some cattle on the video in 92, 93, and 1994. He said, "You better get involved in that video deal." He says, "I think we need to do it." And he said, "I got a couple of guys that I think we could put some cattle on." So in 1994, I started with Western Video with Ellington Peak and Johnny Rogers and their group, and what a great organization that they have, because it was all auction market people. Wasn't Joe Blow off the street doing it. So I said, okay, let's do that. So we went and did it. And my first consigner was Jim Buckles. Jim and Karen are sitting right over there. We put 600 head on there, and it worked out. It worked out well, and we're still doing it. Congratulations, Palmer family. All the other inductees, you're a pretty awesome bunch of group of guys. Thank you very much.
Jack. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I do want to say something. Thought long and hard about what to finalize tonight's festivities, and you saw the legacies that Jackie had talked about, and Rob, and you see Joey up here, and the families, the Santa Masos that we had talked about earlier. Folks, all these people that we've inducted into this Cattle Marketing Hall of Fame have paid a toll. They've given the ultimate sacrifice, their entire life, their entire careers, to pave the way for all of us. Each and every one of us are indebted, and will be that way from now on. I want to challenge my generation and the generation behind me. And the reason I say this is this. I talked a little earlier about the piece of the pie. We're starting now at this point in time as livestock producers to get a little more piece of the pie. Are we there yet? Based on cutout values, no. But with you folks, your intestinal fortitude, your desire, your moral makeup, we're going to get there. Okay, I'm going to say something that I never dreamt that I would ever say, but there are countries now, for the first time in our history, whose currency is of equal or more valuable than the U.S. dollar. Okay? We have a group of people, whether they're elected fairly or not, that represent us. I told you about being forgotten, about being rural Americans. Folks, I'm going to challenge you tonight. My generation, the generation behind me, it's our opportunity. Those folks that I talked about whose currencies are growing have tasted your product. You raise a genetically superior product. It's something that you ought to be incredibly proud of. You raise and you own the land that's required to produce that product. There's power there. There's power. I told you a little bit about rural America and being non-confrontational and not very verbal. It's our opportunity to do that now, to be proud of where we are, to be proud of what we do. Okay? A lot of you, I can only imagine if Rob or Jackie or Beef or Cowboy Jack or Jack Hunter, I can only imagine if they were in a school board meeting and a parent said, you know, we're thinking about installing litter boxes in the bathrooms. I can imagine what these gentlemen would say. Folks, with all jokes aside, that's happening, okay? There's a group of people in Washington that don't want us here. They don't want entrepreneurial spirits. They don't want free-thinking individuals who own land and produce protein. I believe in you. I'm one of you. We all are. Let's take that to heart. Let's realize what God has given us, the blessings of that, and understand that if you see these kids sitting around these tables, we want them and their grandkids to be right here in 20 years. If we don't all pull together and fight together, the opposition's strong, folks. They're well-funded. But you own the products. You raise the most superior protein this world has ever known. Be proud of that. We, from the bottom of our hearts, this is Darcy's deal. Folks, if you get an opportunity to thank her, this is, again, something that we feel very passionate about. We're going to be right back here next year with another class to join the finest people in our industry. Folks, God bless you. Come see us tomorrow. We're going to have an outstanding contest. But with that, I thank you from the bottom of our hearts. On behalf of everybody, Brian, Darcy, Mark, Katrina, the entire family, thank you, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you.